the Mattel's first ever blind Barbie. She's got a cane, the seeing stick.
Okay.
Who's this for?
That's what I'm saying, Jeff. Exactly.
It's a blind girl. Just give her a regular Barbie and tell her it's a blind Barbie.
I mean,
that's me.
Generation X, laughing at the world today. We're getting older, but we're still gonna play all day. Radio Labyrinth, our minds are a maze, navigating through the chaos of these modern days. Lost in the radio labyrinth.
Hi everybody, welcome to Radio Labyrinth.
Jeff, you have a lovely background. What did you do? Get a new podcast studio with lights and all that stuff?
It's a virtual background.
Oh, it's a virtual. I thought you had a new office and a new studio with two mics that go,
I thought he was doing a news conference.
Yeah, a news conference, a TED Talk, a Zoom thing.
Don't be like Howie and Harland and make me turn it off.
That's why I'm bringing it up. Because Jeff, by the way, about last week, we'll get to in a second. But yeah, Jeff was interviewed by Harland Williams and Howie Mandel for their new podcast, which is called what?
When a Stranger Callz.
When a Stranger Callz. With the Z. And you were not on the most recent episode. So does that worry you that you might get cut entirely?
Yeah, I mean, I could. They didn't say when it was going to come out, so they might have had this episode in the can already.
Yeah, they're probably just waiting to edit. It's in queue.
Right.
All right. So tell everybody how you ended up on that show.
Well, I just filled out the form on Howie's Instagram, and then his son, Alex, is the producer of the show. He reached out to me.
Right.
And they wanted me to come on while I was at work. And I said I couldn't do it. And I said, if you do it after 3:30 or 4, I could do it. So then the next week they said, hey, you want to come on?
Nice. And so we'll talk about it if you make it on there. Of course, we'll share clips of it and everything. Yeah. But the funny thing to me that you told us is that you had your background blurred, which you normally do.
Well, I had this background first.
Okay, you had that one.
Then they were like, what's going on with your hair? Is that, you got some sort of weird background? I was like, yeah, it's a virtual background.
Right.
And they're like, shut that off. So I shut it off and I put it on blur.
Right.
Then they're like, unblur that background. I was like, unblur this background. They're like, whoa. you sleeping there?
What if it was like a picture of Hitler? Just a picture.
Yeah. Who made fun of you the most and who was the funniest? Because I don't want to spoil anything. I just want to get some general.
Harland was making fun of my chairs.
What, those chairs that your mom, those orange chairs with the tiger or the leopard print?
Yeah. He was just like, where'd you get those chairs, buddy? I was like, my mom gave them to me. He's like, so the chairs came from your mom? And I go, yeah, she gave me 2 of them. And he goes, twins, they're twins.
Nice. Did you laugh a lot?
Yeah.
And you talked about meeting him?
Yeah. We talked about meeting both of them.
Where did you meet Howie? I know you met Harland. We met Harland.
I saw him at that show at Valley Forge Music Center.
Oh, so you were in high school? Yeah. Did he remember that show?
No, but he remembered the venue because he taped a special there like a couple years later.
I bet. Did you bring up the Paramount comedy thing?
No, the Detroit Comedy Jam. I was going to talk about that. I tried to talk about how you do impressions on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I said, the only impression I do is Ernest. And I go, my name is Ernest. People come up to me, that.
Right.
And he was like, I was trying to mention you and being on the podcast and doing really good impressions. He's like, well, he's not here, so fuck him.
That's nice.
I said, well, he wants to come on.
We don't need him. I want to go on with Gilbert and have Harland convince Gilbert to watch Puppy Dog Pals, which is Harland's animated show that was really good. It is really good. It wasn't. It still is. That's cool, man. I hope they put it out because it'll be fun.
I hope they don't edit to make me look like a jackass, but we'll see what happens.
We're going to edit for comedy purposes. I hope they're going to put out Radio Labyrinth plug.
Yeah.
They probably will.
That's why I kept trying to talk about you and doing impressions and stuff.
This was very much like that Dumb and Dumber scene where he's trying to convince Harry that he's been telling her all about him. instead of about himself. That's what this whole feels like.
You see Tim with a bottle of laxative going.
All right. Well, that's cool. Anything you want to add, or should we just wait and see?
Yeah, let's wait and see what happens. See how they edit me.
Well, another thing we're not going to ignore. I'll go through it really quick. Feel free to jump in. The presidential election is set. Donald Trump and J.D. Beard, the couch humper. I love all these rumors are coming out that he had sex with a couch.
Said who
Let
hasn't?
those among us who haven't had sex with a couch cast the first stone.
That is why the cushions are divided the way they are. If you have the 3-cushion couch, so you can lay down one way and there's room for your penis to go on it.
Just
don't use a 7.
Stu's old sectional couch.
Now, that was every girl we were in high school with. You know, they had that long pillow. Yeah, I'm not going to say names in case they're listening. Those old plush 70s and 80s sectional couches. But those old ones from the 70s that had that. Did anybody have those like?
The rusty flowers?
Well, yeah, the flowers, but you'd sit on it. It was like sandpaper.
Yeah.
It would just rip your flesh off.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't velour. It was like razor or something like that.
No, it was made out of canvas.
You know, the rumors about him aren't true, because if he was a true hillbilly, you know his grandmother had a plastic cover on that couch.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That is who. We don't know who the vice presidential candidate will be for the assumed candidate for the Democratic Party, who is Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris. And they made old Joe. They got the Joe. I don't know how they did it, because I think he was full of energy, full of
I think
piss.
he was sick in bed with COVID, and they're like, Joe, get out of here.
Hey, look, I came down in here to find out, and I laid down and I went back to Delaware. That's not who we are.
Maybe they used Adam Carolla's plan of telling him he already had a second term.
I did. Turn it over to Kamala. Gonna turn it over to Kamala. You know, I thought that we would the week after former President Trump was pew-pewed and they attempted to unalive him. I'm trying to be hip like the kids. They pew-pewed him and they tried to unalive him. I don't know who they are. The guy that got pew-pewed himself and also was unalived. I'm digging this. I dig this baby talk. It's baby talk, I tell you. They that week, and then they had their convention, and then they were the Republicans were happy, and everybody was in good spirits, and we're going to beat Joe Biden, creepy old Joe Biden. And what did they do? The rug pull, and they put the vice president in there without having any sort of primaries, because they're trying to save democracy. So they did an undemocratic thing to install somebody. But anyway, that's what happened, and you either like her or you don't like her. I think
Speaking of the convention, I'm just a regular maniac now. I'm no longer a Hulkamaniac.
You're not a Hulkamaniac?
Not
You're
anymore.
not a Trumpiac? That was
He showed up at the Lions training camp today, and it really divided the city. Let's just
Fine. Did anybody know who he was?
Yes, of course they did, and they all, people are so right now, and so it was like half the fans were like, nah. And
The fans. Yeah, the fans.
yeah, it really divided the fans as far as like him rolling up on the set.
Well, that's why The Rock, I think it was 2004, he showed up at the RNC. Might have been 2000. I don't know. Might have been 2004, though. He showed up at the RNC and endorsed Bush. At the height of your popularity. Now, Hulk Hogan is on the other side of his popularity. Way, 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 way on the other side of his popularity. But I watched that whole evening, except for like when Trump's kids were on, because they're not interesting to me. But that whole thing was just like bizarre. Of Hogan, who else was there that night that I found weird? Oh, Dana White, I'm not that interested in, because I'm not interested in the fights. I don't hate any of these people, by the way. If you're like in love with them and then you get mad and you shut it off, fuck you. I don't hate any of these people. It's just
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock I didn't watch, because I wouldn't have watched it. If he had been at the Democratic National Convention, I wouldn't have watched it. Oh, God, it's Kid Rock. I would have watched Eminem just because he can spit rhymes and he's got sick, mad skills. So we're in for it. We're in for 3 more months? Let's see. Most of August, September, October. So about 3 months and a week, we're just going to be bombarded with message after message after message, and your mailbox is going to get filled up, and people are going to text you. I've got every congressperson in the fucking country, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. They're texting me, I need your help.
John Fetterman showed up at your house.
Well, if John Fetterman showed up at my house, I would let him in and smoke a bowl with him, and then we would go out to the carport, and I'd ask him where he gets his sweatshirts, and I would hang out with that dude because I went to college with that dude. Every one of us, lower middle class, upper, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you went to a state school in Pennsylvania, you knew John Fetterman. He just had hair, but he had good weed all the time. He always had the best weed, and he always dated, hot Brazilian chick. I don't have a problem with these people. I spent so long being mad about politics, but who cares? It's all. Here's my thing. And this comes from the show that I'm on every day. Is billionaires run everything. The only candidates that don't have billionaire backing are Jill Stein, that journalist guy whose name I can't remember. He's got the fucked up teeth and the big hair. I know more old.
I was scrolling through TikTok and this girl was going, I'm voting for JFK Jr.
Oh, good. Well,
I'm like, you better fish him out of that airplane, bitch.
yeah. He's at all those Trump rallies. That guy with the hat on that the Q people said was RFK or JFK Jr.
Yeah.
I get a lot of texts too, but I just text back to whomever's texting me just a gif of Richard Pryor and Brewster's Millions with the none of the above.
None of the above. I always ask them if they know the website for their opponent. And then Chase Oliver is the libertarian candidate. He's from Atlanta or lives here in Atlanta. I've met him, interviewed him. He's a nice guy. But those are the people that don't have billionaire backers. Now, RFK Jr., he has a lot of billionaire ravens that support him. My ravens back here. These are my ravens that I'm taming. And I'm going to be, his vice president, the reason he chose that lady is because she's a billionaire and she's funding his campaign. And so everybody else, they're all billionaires. You got Peter. Anyway, we're done. All right. So there's your politics. There's your current events and things of that nature. Best of luck to whoever you like. And I hope that you are happy with the result. That's the best I want to be when it comes to this presidential election, because the last two were fucking nuts. I just want to call Obama up and go, hey man, remember that first term? Let's go back to that one term where you were the fucking superstar and everybody dug you. Even if they didn't dig you, they dug you. You hadn't yet run. I mean, look who we ran against. John McCain is a hero and all that, but I mean, the nut jobs are, come on, get out of here.
I want to go back to whenever I just see a newspaper and it would say something about him. I was like, oh yeah, we have a president, and that's how they were just in the background. Some dude doing his job, making sure I don't have to think about him.
You have to care. That's why I addressed your Knesset the other day. It's not a Knesset. It's called a Congress. I'm sorry. It's your Congress. That's why I addressed it the other day. I got 7,000 standing ovations, and I made a very good joke. I said gays for Gaza is like chickens for KFC. Ha ha. Anyway, I'll be here all week. Make sure to tip AOC. She's not here? Oh, she boycotted? I'm so sorry. What other podcast are you going to get a bad impression of Benjamin Netanyahu? Don't hate us.
Victoria here is a superhero.
Thanks for the compliment. I think the truth is we all want to be heroes, but I'm not literally a superhero.
We're going to take a quick break.
Comes out of the bag, isn't it?
Our sponsor,
Now it gets interesting.
All right, let's talk about The Boys. The Boys season finale was last week. Everybody's done their videos, all the 50 Easter eggs you get from Screen Crush, the guy with the dog. I watched that one because it's, very tolerable. A lot of these recap shows aren't tolerable. But I thought I was really mad, and then I watched it again, and I was still a little mad, but I enjoyed it. I feel like the ending was just like, we're done. Wait till next year. All this buildup, all this weird shit, not knowing what was going on. You thought it was going to be maybe a happy ending, and then everything went to shit in the last 10 minutes. But I'm going to
They brought in the Gen V cast. Nice thing I thought at the end.
Yeah, because we've got one more. We got a season of that before season 5. So
there will be a season of Gen V next year because the Boys ain't coming back till 2000 or till 26.
Yeah. There's one more, and especially with that ending. I mean, that ending was heart wrenching. I mean,
Heart wrenching. Why? Were you sad?
well, I mean,
She got
with
hit.
Frenchie, and that whole Frenchie situation was horrible. I mean, she finally
know.
spoke, and he couldn't hear her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was rough.
they were going to hook up. He got his sexuality.
But how about an old girl got ripped in half?
That's what.
Oi. Butcher? No deals.
That's what I'm saying. It ripped
Yeah.
Veronica.
And he was, and he did have
Was it
that.
Victoria or Veronica?
Victoria.
Victoria.
Victoria Newman.
Yeah, Victoria Newman got ripped in half and the guts everywhere. That pissed me off. She's going to do that. See, that's what it was. It was a rug pull. And the one problem I have with the entire season is he's a pussy in every single episode. Why is he a pussy in every single episode?
Who?
Homelander?
No, Homelander's not a pussy, but he does like milk.
He is a pussy,
I know he's he's angry. He's strong.
but that's all he's got.
Yeah.
That's all he has nothing else. He has no morals, no anything
very-
but power. That's all he has.
And but now he's back with Sage. It was weird. Where did she go? Is she plotting everything? Jack Quaid, Huey. Why is Huey such a bitch? Why is he such a little bitch? I don't understand.
He's kind of the whipping boy for this whole
He
whole
is.
series. I mean, from the very beginning is nothing but heartbreak for him, and they just keep
Is that
doing
the
it.
same? Is that the same in the comic book?
Well, yeah, he's the focus. So I mean, he's basically the main character that runs everything through.
Right. Well, I feel like I'm watching Dollar Store Dennis Quaid. Because Dennis Quaid was never like a little, he's playing Ronald Reagan in an upcoming movie. You think they get along? Do they talk politics? Because his dad is like, Trump's an asshole, but he's my asshole. I don't know. His uncle's nuts. Maybe go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they probably is just off limits at home.
Yeah.
It's just leave the politics at the door. If not, you're not going to have a family unit.
Yeah. I mean, he's an unfinished Quaid. How dare him?
Unfinished Quaid. Who's his mom?
Is it Meg Ryan?
Meg Ryan.
Right, Meg Ryan. Okay, so he does have that look.
Yeah, he's got
Not
a
that.
little waifish, like imp face, like she did.
Uh-huh.
Like a Game of Thronesy, elfish, type of thing.
Well, and did heavy emphasis on the did because she don't look like that anymore.
Well,
2 episodes in a row of Starlight are ass, though.
Yeah,
healing, don't you think? By the end,
Inside
didn't her
boob.
face
Yes.
look normal again?
Her
Yeah,
face
it
looks
did.
normal.
Yeah. It was looking more normal, especially when they were doing the shifter stuff back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved her as the villain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 She was great. I wish she was always a villain 'cause she was so good in that role.
And we found out what Soldier Boy's still alive.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that credit scene, yeah.
Is the
Brian's
Deep dead?
papa.
Yeah. Is Deep dead? The Deep? I forget.
That was kind of left up in the air.
Okay.
not
No,
sure.
they just got the shit beat out of him. That's
Yeah.
all.
Where she
Who's Valerie?
injected herself with V, the redhead.
Oh yeah.
I think she's going to be a very creepy
Yeah.
looking thing. And what happened to Victoria's daughter? Because she's a little hard to handle.
She got put in a.
In the red farm, or that training building where they put the V kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where they took her at the end. And then you had Marjorie Taylor Firecracker.
Mm-hmm.
And her crying at the end. And again, we were going to talk about this too. They changed they had to change the title.
Why? Oh yeah, we didn't really dive into that. Sorry.
Yeah, they had to change the title at the last minute because of the pew pew and the attempted unaliving.
Right.
What was the title?
Assassination.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Weirdly enough.
Pretty on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, they had a lot on the nose in this episode, especially some of that last 10-minute speech. You've heard that shit before, minus 1 or 2 words,
Yeah.
which I'm sure was the point when they were writing it, but I don't think they thought the chaos would actually be happening in real life.
I figure I can't ever do Carl Urban. I did it around a fucking house the other day, but I can't do it without fucking swearing. And you know what? Gilbert doesn't want to hear all those fucking swear words. See, it doesn't sound. Well, yeah, see? Go kill Ryan. Piece
That
of
is-
shit.
Is that where he's headed, do you think? He's going to kill Ryan?
I think he wants to.
Yeah.
I mean, they were going to cage Ryan up and make him kill his dad. I think even if you hate your dad, you don't want to kill him. Unless you're Luke.
Yeah, I think wishing someone dead and killing them are two different things.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, stay tuned for Gen V season 2 and then the final season of The Boys 2 years from now. If you can wait. News, trailers, and trends with Steph.
Well, who wants a 24 movie?
Not me. Depends on who's in it. Who's in it?
Don't really know yet. They don't even know if Kiefer's going to be in it.
Why make it if he's not going to be in it?
Yeah,
The franchise is him. It's not.
is
Oh, hey, it's
24.
20.
Yeah, he's not even attached to it. So it's just in early development. They're kicking it around. And,
Right.
you know, this Brian Grazer dude says, hey, Hollywood is betting less on new content more than ever before, if that makes any sense.
Oh,
So it
somebody
has
actually
to
said that out loud.
Yeah, yeah. And you know this upset me so badly. Is he goes on to say, like, I'm making Backdraft right now with Glenn Powell.
What?
God
he's-
bless it.
He's taking Kurt
Why?
Russell's spot in that.
Who
He's-
needs another backdraft? Just call it Fire Movie.
They're putting Glenn Powell in every 90s movie now and just remaking it. Who loves Glenn Powell like this? Do you know?
I don't know.
Hollywood does. They need
Yeah.
somebody his age and his looks to carry franchises.
How are you going to get boomers and Gen Xers into the movie theater? You have to have somebody like that guy, Glenn Powell. But I'm telling you right now, 24 worked because it was a series. And when it came out, it was unique. And it lasted a bunch of seasons. Most of them were so-so. A couple of them are really, really good. There's maybe one or two that were stinkers.
Yeah.
But that show worked because of the Kiefer Sutherland and the writing and the way it was paced, you know. And Mary Lynn Rajskub was really good in it too. And Edgar, the guy that died, who was Skip in The Sopranos.
It was cool that it was in real time too. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was,
yeah.
Yeah, what are they going to do? Call it 90?
yeah,
90 minutes.
minutes. Bad idea.
That one episode where you had that Taco Bell and he was on the toilet for the whole episode.
Chloe, send me the schematics for the toilet. They were doing shit on their Palm Pilots in the early 2000s that you still can't do on your iPhone today.
So we're saying there's a big fat not necessary stamped on this.
Yes, a big fat not
Yeah.
necessary.
Well, I don't think you'll say this, but this is not necessary. But Tim Dillon is coming back to Netflix this fall with a talk show style special. And it's all about the current American politic.
Is it going to be before the election?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It is going to be before it. And I think this is just, I was thinking it was a series, but it's just a special.
A
I
special.
don't-
This guy should be hosting The Daily Show.
You know, I mean, I thought after Mulaney did that week, he should be having his own show all the
He
time.
should.
So
A-
maybe
a
they're
live show.
investigating that.
Tim Dillon is great. I mean, most people know that he's like a center-right type of libertarian-esque type of person, but his podcast is really funny. And usually without a guest is when I prefer it, but sometimes he has good guests on. He's really with them. Now, whenever he has Alex Jones on, I love it. Especially when Alex is getting drunk. Bro, Mattel, they're coming after my family. They're going to go after the president. They're going to live me. Yeah, I'm excited for that. And will it be live or will it just be one special?
I didn't see live on there. It just said talk show style special.
Well, as long as it's not a stand-up special, it'll be great.
Talk show style. I guess he will have guests if it's a talk show
Right.
style. Yeah.
I just don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be pre-recorded.
No, Netflix won't let me on. They won't let me on because I drink a lid of vodka in front of my 7-year-old daughter.
Who do you think, though? Just speculative. I mean, seriously, who do you think he might have on?
Well, let's see. He's probably going to record it at the Mothership and have Joe Rogan and who else would he have on there? What's his ass? All those people. I don't know. Who do you think he would have on? RFK? RFK?
That's possible.
Yeah.
That's very possible. He might get Kamala on. Who knows?
I doubt that she would do that. You think she's going to start going on those podcasts? Like she's going to show up
Probably.
on past
Oh,
weekend?
yeah.
I guarantee you she's not going to show up.
Especially if it's a Netflix live special before the election, she would definitely go on.
No,
She's
she
gonna
won't.
start popping up everywhere.
She's not going to go on a show where they ask her questions that she has to answer without knowing ahead of time what they're going to be. None of them do that. Not even
I
Trump.
didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say that. I was just saying that we're going to see her popping up everywhere.
Oh, yeah, but she's not going on Rogan. Well, you know, Joe, I love your show.
If she did, though, let's just say, I mean, 'cause I don't care, devil's advocate, because I could give a rat's ass. But if she did go on one of these shows,
She was on
And-
Smartless.
and yeah, okay, and then but she
They-
blew you
they're
away.
gonna blow smoke up her ass.
Okay, if he asked if it was like a legitimate debate between her and Tim Dillon just asking her questions, whatever he wants, and she gave answers that you respected, what would you do?
I'd be impressed.
Well, let's just hope and see. Let's just see what happens. Let's see.
We'll see what
Just
happens.
fucking see.
Daddy. We'll see what happens, Daddy.
Seeing what happens. We all have to see what happens when it happens. Because sometimes things don't happen the way we want them to happen. And if we think about it really hard and we dream, I can be that little girl that rode on Joe Biden's racist bus. You said Joe Biden was racist. It was a debate. She took my job.
Do an original impression of a parent at Six Flags after 9 p.m. on a Friday night.
There's never parents there.
Right. Well, there will be now.
Have you been to Six Flags? Hey, y'all, get your asses over here right now. I told you not to go on that roller coaster. Now you went on a tilt-a-whirl and your sister's head got chopped off. That ain't cool. What we gonna do now? Sister's head got chopped off, but she was working at the fucking Hooters. Now what? I knew I shouldn't have gotten that season pass. Drop your ass off there at 10 o'clock in the morning, pick you up at midnight. That's
No.
great parenting. Go ahead. Sorry.
But in the past, not even the long ago, parents could kind of do that. And-
Long ago. Yeah, it was safe 20 years
Yeah, and the
ago.
kids
Not
were
safe now.
not as rowdy and busting out with AR-15s or whatever. I mean, it
don't
was
bring
not that
guns.
kind of a thing. But they don't want to say this was in response to the 600-person fight that broke out at the beginning of the season this year. But, come on.
Of course
Well, now after 4 p.m., you have to have a chaperone with you who is 21 years or older if you are 15 and under.
Uh-huh.
So we'll see if this makes a
They
difference.
should have a
in-
cop every 10 feet at one of these places. I'm never taking my son to any amusement park unless it's in the middle of the woods and it's like a carousel. That's it.
That sounds creepy.
Yeah, that's not creepy or
The
anything.
carousel
I don't
in
care.
the woods?
You can have you got the creepy music and the
And take them to that one in Elmira. What's that called?
Eldridge Park
Yeah, Eldridge Park.
in Elmira, New York. I think there's a carousel there. It's a beautiful carousel. It's one of the oldest in the world in the country.
I don't care. I think it'd be far less scarring to just get punched in the face at Six Flags than to have these creepy carousel in the woods memories.
First of all, these places are too expensive. The carousel in the woods, I get it. You know, the creepy clown with the smeared makeup. I didn't ride on my carousel. No, I don't want to go to any of these places. I went to Six Flags. The last time I went to Six Flags was a long time ago, and I had a good time there. I like going to fairs. I like going to Gwinnett County Fair because you can go on a ride. You can have a corn dog. You can have one of those funnel cakes, and you can see giant cow balls. Right? You can see the bull's testicles. You see the sheep. Sheep have gigantic testicles.
And that's
I like
before
the
you even
prize-
get out of the parking lot.
Right.
You have to vote on the prize pig. I get it. It is. It's fun.
Yeah. You can go on their shitty Ferris wheel, hopefully not fall off, and vote on the prize pig. And everything smells like, manure. I like that. Manure food. They got that old circle, fenced in thing with the motorcycles going around.
Well, if you,
You know what I'm talking
Rider.
about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Okay.
about.
Well, Ghost
do,
Rider's
yeah.
not there. He's
well,
dead.
if you go to Disney World, you're not going to get to see old liver lips anymore because they made him leave the band at the Disney World. That
Fire.
band with the bears.
Rest in peace, Living Lips.
Because they said he offends alcoholics.
What? All right, fuck that, liver lips. Hey, liver lips.
Listen, I don't need to talk to you, liver lips.
Hey, yeah. They ought to get Willie the Jackass, right?
That's why they got rid of Snuffleupagus. All the heroin addicts just couldn't handle him.
Oh,
Well, and in this article that I sourced the story from, they go on to say, and I've never heard this, that also liver lips is a derogatory term for black people. I've never heard this.
I've never heard that either,
No.
but I'm not surprised by that. That
And-
Disney would have an old racist trope in their park. Because their
Well,
park is filled with old racist tropes. But liver lips, I don't know about. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
I never heard it either.
That's trying to make something racist. Yeah.
I've never heard that. Well, after the video I saw last weekend of America from 1967, and it was the Georgia, the old Stone Mountain train ride, what that used to be.
Uh-huh.
It was, I sent it to you, Tim.
Yeah. That was interesting.
It was like a full, as they described it, savage redskins attacking women. They were ripping their dresses off. This is what the kids saw on the train ride on Stone Mountain. It was insane.
Oh, yeah, the train play. Yeah.
Yes.
I got to tell you, I'm not in favor of that.
I don't think anybody.
I went to a Civil War reenactment there one time, and I ate hardtack, and they had a okay. Stone Mountain battle was down there with the general so-and-so was after so-and-so, but to do a reenactment, it had the Confederate flag, and while you could eat some hardtack if you wanted to try that, of course, doesn't have as many bull weevils in it as it had back then, or bugs and things like that. It's fresh hardtack. And, of course, that was the crackle that the crackers carried down here from the north, and they didn't have the Johnny cakes and things like that. But my favorite thing to do with that reenactment when you walk around there is to crack the bullwhip. Yes, that's what they had. They had a bullwhip. And there was nothing on the other end, but you could crack the bullwhip. And I thought, well, this is weird. It is 1999. 1998. I think maybe you could put the bullwhip exhibit away. I don't, have maybe axe throwing, right? They have the axe throwing now. That's a thing. It's been a thing for a while. Maybe they should have invented that in the 90s. You don't need to have a bullwhip display at your Southern celebration, I guess.
And we've already had the Olympics here by that time, too. That's really,
Yeah.
Political is whatever side. That's why I always have a hard time understanding people who can't understand the point of view of America hasn't always been perfect.
And great. It's
great
been
again.
great.
And it was
It's not
like
perfect, but great.
it wasn't for everybody, and there's just a lot of people just can't, or don't see that.
Bring back those bullwhips.
Definitely.
Make America great again.
Make the look. I think the country was great for the right people, the good people, the people that made this country. That came over from Europe, and they killed they unalived all the natives. Okay, they didn't. If they hadn't fought back, they could have integrated into the culture. Just like, look, send them back. That's all I'm saying. We're going to be doing so much deporting. Where are you going to send them? The Dakotas.
Dude.
Yeah, we Gen X was the generation that finally, we were all taught that this stuff is wrong. The boomers had to figure it out on their own, but we were taught that hey, maybe some of the shit we did wasn't so good, maybe, hey, we transcontinental railroad, good. What we had to do to get that built, not good.
Yeah.
yeah.
The North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, good. What we did to create them, not good. And having a bullwhip that you can physically crack at Stone Mountain is not good. And I'm glad.
Like I told you, in 1967, in this America, Georgia episode, they talked about the beautiful antebellum homes and all of this and blah, blah, blah. And they never talked about slavery at all. They just talked about how the lifestyle ended at the Maddox Courthouse.
The Appomattox Courthouse or the Maddox?
Yes, whatever, yes.
Yeah, that's in Virginia. That's where the Lee surrendered to Grant.
Yeah, but that's what they called it, the lifestyle.
That was them talking in their own code.
That's code. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's code for. It was much better back in the day when we could sit out on the porch and other people could pick our crops. They send us their fine, fair women to make love to in the barn on hay. When you're faced with the stark reality of the things that happened in the past, it's best if you can't handle it to just maybe peek open the curtain and look, oh, shit, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
There isn't anything wrong with it. Everybody needs to know it. But the generation that's after us and the generation that's after them, they all know. They all know. And there has to be some sort of, okay, well, we know and you guys know a little and we know a lot. Now let's figure out what we're going to do from here on out.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think that
Send
would...
them back. That's meant. No, we're not sending anybody back. No one's getting sent home. They're home now. And that's just the way it's going to be.
Well, on to happier news. It's kind of hard to believe that Chris Brown is getting hit with a $50 million lawsuit for him and a few of his buddies kicking the hell out of some concert attendees a few days ago. I don't know if you
It's
guys
nice to see him get hit with something for a change. Chris Brown, huh? I don't know any of his music.
I love his music.
Well, you know what I know
He's a
about
very polarizing figure. I love his music. That's what makes it so hard to, think about the fact that he beats up women occasionally. Sometimes he just can't handle it.
He beat up Rihanna, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he beat her up.
Beat her
And
up
Michael
pretty bad.
Jackson never beat anybody up.
No.
He had a song called Beat It, but he didn't really, beat anybody up.
No, he's got some anger issues, and apparently these guys, they were invited backstage and with along with like 40 women, and then one of Chris Brown's people said, "Hey, don't you remember that guy? You had a problem with him the last time you saw him." And the next thing you know, melee, and they're just stomping the crap out of these dudes. So these guys they got restraining orders against them. They're going after them for like everything.
I think Chris Brown could use a healthy dose of anger management. That's
I think he's tried it. I don't think he likes
Yeah,
it.
well, try it again, Chris.
I don't think that works.
Doesn't work for everybody.
Or a lobotomy.
I think I might I don't know if I'm going to need a lobotomy to enjoy George Romero's daughter's zombie movie she's got coming out. I don't know if we're going to like it. We're going to see. Might be good.
It's probably going to be just as good as any of George Romero's movies.
Well, that's true. I guess his movies, we just hold them in high esteem and
Because he's George Romero.
true.
Yeah. Well,
And there's a
and
lot of blood.
they were more for what he was trying to say politically as opposed to
Yes,
being a horror movie at the time.
absolutely. Like the first Night of the Living Dead was about civil rights.
Yeah.
In a
Well, and
way.
this one's going to be like during a drag queen brunch.
Okay.
Enough
So
so
they'll- Yeah. So anyway, it should be interesting. I'm definitely going to give it a chance.
Sure.
See if
Me
she's got,
too.
whatever. But I'll tell you what I am excited for is this Shaun of the Dead. For the 20th anniversary, they're re-releasing it in the theater in August.
Ooh,
Yes.
Shaun of the Dead, I think, is my favorite movie of that genre. Because it's just great.
Yeah.
It is probably the perfect zombie movie. And with all the humor and everything else. So I definitely want to go see that. And it's all digitally remastered. It should look really good. When you think about it, they have made a lot of leaps and bounds visually in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
agree.
that's August 30th. That'll be back in the theater. And
Mhm.
I wondered what you guys thought about the Mattel's first ever blind Barbie.
Does she get to drive the
I
Corvette?
haven't seen it.
She has she's got a cane, the seeing stick,
Mhm.
and she has a book of Braille.
Okay.
Who's this for?
That's what I'm saying, Jeff. Exactly.
It's a blind girl. Just give her a regular Barbie and tell her it's a blind Barbie.
I mean,
That's mean. Well, it
It's-
is. It doesn't matter. What do you... God, Jeff had a bunch of Star Trek figures that didn't have noses. 'Cause he bit the noses off.
hey, where'd you put their noses off?
Why not?
They were Imperial.
I shaved my G.I. Joe doll's head. The scuba guy. Like, yeah, this guy's got too much hair. He's not lithe enough to get through the water. These Barbies are for a certain demographic of people that collect Barbies.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
No
the
one-
wheelchair Barbie, sure. I'm sure there's a lot of handicapped kids in wheelchairs that can see the Barbie.
Kids don't play with this shit.
No.
I think once you get past the toy stage, it's like swipe, swipe, swipe. What's this? What's this? Swipe, 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 swipe.
It's
anyway.
more for marketing for Mattel is what it is. They're,
Exactly.
they need to get their name out there. Since the Barbie movie, I guess this is their next leap.
Yeah.
What are some other conditions that you think they might exploit for a Barbie?
Psoriasis Barbie. Ozempic Barbie. She's really fat, but you get the
psoriasis Barbie is going to be really popular with the blind Barbie.
Yes. Oh wow! I feel that scaly skin.
Alopecia Barbie?
I thought they already had an alopecia Barbie.
Yeah, they do.
they?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You can just cut some of the hair out, make alopecia.
You can make
A
your
lot
own,
of my
really.
Barbies ended up alopecia Barbie.
Yeah, I know shit. Let's see. Athlete's foot Barbie.
Elephantitis of the nuts, Ken.
Yes. He didn't have nuts, so it would just look the same. But I get where you're coming from. If you
You
suck
take the
from
pants off, and it's just nothing.
Yeah.
He's got a big old gooch.
It's just a mass. Tumor, Ken. Yeah.
let's see.
Taint.
Ingrown toenail Ken.
These are all fun.
I don't want to say anything terrible, though. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, that's why I was hoping that you would come up with more comical conditions.
Yes.
Halitosis Barbie.
Ooh, that would be kind of cool though. Like if you press the back of her head and it just like stink came out of her mouth.
You have to stuff crab meat or something in there to begin with. Just leave it there for a
Ew.
while.
That's worse
Vaginal
than
rejuvenation Barbie. That comes with a suture kit. You can fix it.
C-section Barbie.
C-section Barbie, yes. Or natural birth Barbie. It comes with a pool.
Oh God.
Yeah, okay,
that's
good
right.
news, Steph.
That's right. That's right. Wait, you didn't let me tell my favorite story of the week.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Somebody threw a salsa jar into a pool in Massachusetts and caused $20,000 in damage.
Nuh-uh.
I just want to know
What a wicked piece of shit.
what a jerk. Who's going to take a jar of salsa and just throw it in the damn pool, in the public pool?
How did it shatter in the water?
I mean, it's got some weight to it. It's not like it's going to float, right?
I think it was already shattered when they threw the glass in the. in the
Oh,
pool.
okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Jeff's got Jeff's bright. That's
I don't know
exactly-
why they had to drain the whole pool though. They could just fucking vacuum it out if they had a good pool guy. They
Right.
don't have to drain it.
I want the entire pool scrubbed, sterilized, and disinfected. Here it is. No big deal.
And a little bit for the podcast universe. Hopefully we'll get to see Jeff, our wonderful Jeff here on
Which one A Stranger Callz?
with Howie Mandel and Harland Williams. Harland Highway was good this week. I've yet to watch Dudesy. There's a lot of things I haven't watched this week.
Kill Tony, did you watch?
No, I did not watch Kill Tony.
Oh man, you need to watch that one.
Why? Who was the guest?
Was from last week with Adam Ray
I-
doing Biden.
I watched that one. Did we
Shane
not talk
Gillis.
about that last week?
No.
We didn't talk
Yeah,
about it. Yeah,
We mentioned
we?
it last week. Yeah.
we mentioned it. Yeah, but it was such a good episode. Both of those guys are great. They improv'd all that stuff. It was so funny. I do think Red Band gets treated like shit, but what are you gonna do? I didn't know Red Band used to be Rogan's producer.
He
right?
was he was the his go-to guy. Yeah.
Yeah, before young Jamie.
Yeah. He trained Jamie actually.
Yeah. The cool thing about Rogan is he has a live special coming up. It'll be the third live special. I believe one time I said it was the second live special, but it is the third. The second being the Cat Williams one. And I don't remember the first live one on there. It might have been Chris Rock. Exactly. That's who that was. So this is the third live special. Rogan, all new material. We'll see how good that is. But he is really become comedy's kingmaker. And there's a great article from Bloomberg that you can read right here. Moving out of Los Angeles, moving all the way to Austin, Texas, building this club. He's going to franchise it. What a genius thing to do, to take all that money from your podcast and create a world where comedy can flourish. Now, I know that people don't particularly care for him. I don't know why. Maybe political, maybe cultural. Who knows? You're not going to see that. Who's that Babette lady? Hannah Gadsby, probably not going to be performing at the Mothership, but I'm sure he would let her if she wanted to. Just a genius move. And now he is like the guy that makes or breaks you. And everybody's going down there. We need somebody like that in Atlanta. Jeff, you should be that guy. Open a Mothership comedy club. Let's take Radio Labyrinth and open a franchise. You call Joe Rogan, Steph, since you're close.
Oh,
with
okay. Let me
Yeah,
just
Radio Labyrinth is brought to you by Atlanta Pizza in Euro. Here's the thing about Atlanta Pizza in Euro. It's not in Atlanta, but they call it Atlanta Pizza in Euro. It's in Conyers. Why don't they call it CPG? I don't know. It tastes really good. I don't care. Meanwhile, over in Conyers, they have proudly been serving the East Metro Atlanta area for over 40 years. That's a lot of pizza. And gyros. By the way, is it gyro or gyro? Atlanta Pizza in Gyro is the place to be all summer long. They have over 16 ice-cold craft beers and ciders. What's wrong with just drinking cider out of a plastic jug in October like you're supposed to? No, you can drink it all the time, especially at Atlanta Pizza in Euro. Many others are also available in bottles and cans. Look, they have the best gyros, pizzas, hot subs, and Greek and Italian specialties around. Okay? Stop by Monday through Friday from 11 to 9 p.m. and Saturday from 12 to 9 p.m. They're closed on Sundays. Why don't they close on Saturday? On Tuesday nights, they have team trivia from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Bring your smartest friends and test your trivia knowledge, okay? Against the best Conyers has to offer, like Dustin. They also have a food truck. Contact Mike at 770-483-6228 for more details or to schedule an event. He also says, thank you for listening to the best podcast around and for all your business and continued support. Hey, do you have a commercial or residential construction printing need? Well, what are you waiting for? Contact LDI Repro Printing of Athens. They've been in Athens since 2005 with fast turnaround and affordable prices. Call 706-316-9366 or email them at athens@ldiline.com.
Guys, are you reading the online comments?
Gotta read some of these comments.
I'm loving your guys' comments.
You're reading your own comments?
Yeah, they're really good. I worked hard on them.
The secret is don't read the comment cards.
You guys leave comments for us. We do not have a lot of them this week, but I'm going to read the ones that we do have. Our good friend Roby Neely, who goes by something else on YouTube, says, Che has been working hard. We're talking about our friend Che, who was on the show a while ago. Has been working hard in the last few months to get his yard ready for the Walk Hard party. I can't be there, but enjoy yourselves and think of those of us too far away to attend. And yes, we'll tell you more about that if you'd like to go when you're in the Atlanta area. I'll tell you all about this party. I unfortunately can't make it because I don't want to say on here. It's a serious issue. I don't want to say why because it's, a privacy thing and something in our neighborhood, but I wish I could. It would be a lot of fun. Let's see. Deeb2359 gave us a heart, so thank you very much. Mike Diefenbach, 9151. That's Mike Diefenbach, old friend of Jeff's and mine. Jeff's old boss at a newspaper. He was a newspaper editor in New York. Says, I was at Beef O'Brady's ordering takeout wings and having a Miller Lite. I didn't know Beef O'Brady's was still around. I said to the folks at the bar checking my phone, hey, someone just pew-pewed Trump. Some people checked their phones. The rest kept eating.
Views.
Or.
Snooze.
And we're back.
We are back. And Jeff, it's time for Views or Snooze. What did you watch? What are you going to watch?
Last week was Cobra Kai, Time Bandits, and Charlie Hustle, which I watched all Cobra Kai. Now I got to wait till November for the rest of the season.
I've heard a lot of people, everybody that I've heard that has watched it, watched the whole thing in one shot.
Yeah.
I haven't. I watched like one episode.
You savoring it? Oh.
I wouldn't say savor. I would just say getting through it.
Getting through it.
I'm going to watch all of it, but it's like it's hard to get back into it. Once you get back into it, I could see why they just stayed with it and watched. I just didn't have the time to go on to the next one. Probably if I went on to the next one, I would just finish the whole thing.
I didn't watch Time Bandits.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either.
I did watch Charlie Hustle, the first episode, which I liked.
This week, the Decameron comes on Netflix.
I watched that this morning.
You watch it? It looks pretty funny.
It's crazy. It is crazy. Talk about making light of something horrible. Do they ever?
It's a comedy?
Yeah.
About the plague. They pull no punches. It's very gross, too.
Is it a movie or a series?
It's a series.
Okay, another fucking series.
It's funny. I mean, we laughed quite a bit. The humor is definitely there, but it's gross. And yeah, they really make fun of everybody being dead everywhere. People are just dead everywhere with boils all over them. And they just,
I think it looks pretty funny. I'm going to use it.
It's pretty funny.
I'll check that one out.
Yeah.
Futurama comes back for season 12. It's been renewed for 2 more seasons after this, too.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
If we can get Billy back on to talk about it.
Yeah, I wish we could.
Ask him.
And Olympic highlights with Kevin Hart and Kenan Thompson. This comes on Peacock on the 29th.
That'll probably be funny.
It'll be funny.
This will probably be all the Olympics that I'll watch.
Yeah. Same.
If I cared about the Olympics, I'd watch it. Although I like both of them. And I think Kenan Thompson's a genius. What's up with that? All right. Time for staff picks. Mine's real simple. Anything by Jerry Seinfeld. No, my staff pick is Blues Brothers, The Arc of Gratitude, which is available on Audible. Dan Aykroyd.
Only 2 hours long. I'm not wasting a credit on 2 hours. Look.
I think it's free if you have premium.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. But I don't know that for sure. And thanks to Jeff for telling me, I will now watch Dusty Slay on Fly on the Wall. But anyway, that's my staff pick. The Blues Brothers, The Arc of Gratitude, which is available now on Audible.
Mine's Brian Quinn on Senses Working Overtime, David Cross's podcast.
That's low-key a good podcast.
Yeah.
It is.
Have you guys seen the commercials for that Kyle MacLachlan's doing for Arby's?
No.
Okay. Are you aware that they brought back the potato cakes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what this is for. So he has this series of commercials that they shot, and it is so Twin Peaks like meets Black Rainbow. He's like starting a cult of potato cakes, and is really good. I mean, it's putting them in the marketing teams now are coming up with some really wacky ideas, and this is one of them.
That's great. I'll check that out.
Now, my staff pick is basically an Instagram account that you guys probably have seen before, The Art of Daniel Ryan.
Tell us about it.
And check him out. Okay, so he has these series of fat cats that he draws where they're smoking vapes and doing various.
Yeah.
And this is called his Tell Someone Who Gives a Shit collection. And some of these are they make my day whenever they come out. And this cat is vaping and he's doing just various odd things, just laying by a rock, drinking a margarita and vaping. You really have to see it. I mean, he's a great artist, and it's very funny. So I would check it out, Art of Daniel Ryan on Instagram.
All right. So every Monday I do an audio only podcast in the Radio Labyrinth podcast feed, available on your favorite podcatchers. It's called Trambles. This previous week, I just did a parody of Bernie Sanders doing a podcast talking smack. My guest on my radio show every Saturday night on WSB Radio in Atlanta, 95.5 FM, 750 AM. There's also the WSB Radio app. And then it also becomes a podcast the following week. Currently, you have my almost 90-minute conversation with Kevin Kenny from Driving and Crying, where we talk about all sorts of things, especially whales, which is cool. My guest tonight, if you're listening on Saturday, or my most recent guest, is Rudy Sarzo, who is the original bassist from Quiet Riot. He was in Quiet Riot at its inception, went back and forth. He's been in a lot of bands. He's friends with Ozzy, played with Ozzy. He was really good friends with Randy Rhoads. And it's a fun conversation. He's one of the nicest people I've ever spoken to. In fact, he toured with the Guess Who, and I kind of laughed about that, and he told me why he did it. And that's kind of cool. If you're looking for a last-minute gift, don't run to the mall, because there's no stores there. And don't go to Amazon.com or anything like that. You can maybe Timo, or Temu or whatever. But anyway, you can go to Cameo. Cameo.com/ Tim Andrews ATL, I believe it is. Where the link will be here. And I'll do a cameo for you. Any voice you want, I'll do my own voice. And if I can't do it, I'll tell you. Just ask. And it's really cheap, and it makes a great, great gift. You can also become a Patreon member, like our newest Patreon producer, John Allen, who is going to be getting a T-shirt and a drawing soon. But go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews, and you'll have access from any level that you come in at. You'll have access to our weekly show. Last week we did our top 10 SNL, but we basically just talk smack and talk about shit that we don't normally talk about on the regular show. Sometimes we will watch videos together. Little moments that bring us happiness, and we'll be doing more of that too. It's a fun show. It's about 15 minutes long, and we are looking for your submission. So if there's a video or something that makes you happy and you're a Patreon member, put it in the comments. Through every video on there, you can put a comment in. Please go to YouTube and subscribe. Watch our show on YouTube. That works best for us. No, however you want to do it's fine with us. You know, you can still put earbuds in and just let YouTube play, and it's like you don't have to watch if you don't want to. But Dustin does a kick-ass job on this thing, and he puts a lot of cool stuff into it. Video clips and fun and excitement and explosions and knives. I'd like to thank our producers. If you come in at the $25 level, you get a print of one of my drawings. And I will send you a bunch of images and a doodle or whatever, and I'll print that out, sign it, and send it to you. You also get a T-shirt from our T-shirt store, and that's why I brought up John Allen, because I'm going to get that taken care of ASAP, and I appreciate it. But that's $25, and you become a producer, which gets your name read every week. So thank you to John Allen, Tim Slayton, Brian and Chelsea Smith, Jeff Peterson, Jim Fortner, Terry Fuller, Chris Chandler, Roby Neely, Mike D, and Matt Carter. So thank you guys very, very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And Matt Carter, I think, has been with us from the very beginning.
Yes.
Hasn't he been with us for the longest time?
Yes, Matt Carter, he's an OG.
And Matt D and Mike D, because we used to go, and Mike D. Give it a view. Subscribe, like. How many subscribers do we have at present, Dustin?
1,020 something.
Yeah. See? All right, let's keep them coming. Keep them coming. All right, that's going to do it for this week. We will be back next week. And until that time, please remember to
keep it
canon.
Well, they say all good things come to an end.
What's that got to do with this show?
Lost in the rain.